This is the Dangbei Mars, and I do have to say, for under £1,000, under $1,000, it has to be one of the brightest 1080p projectors that we've seen. Even in the brightest of rooms, the picture quality is just incredible. Let's check it out. Don't forget to hit the red button to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up and click the notification bell to get my next video first. So my friends, this is the Dangbei Mars. This sits just between the Dangbei Mars Pro, which is the 4K version, and also the Dangbei Neo, which I looked at a couple of weeks ago. But this projector is quite weighty. It's around 6 kilos, but it looks really good. In the box, you get all of the normal paraphernalia, including this thing, which I wasn't quite sure what it was, and also a very functional but not backlit remote control. There are some shortcut buttons on there, but I'll show you those in just a few moments. Other than that, it's just the power supply and also the power cable. Right, the projector itself. Well, this is a smart looking projector, and it is a smart projector. It's almost quite stealthy in its design. It could blend away into the back of a wall, no problem at all. It sits on any work surface, and from all of the different angles, it looks really good. There's the speaker grills on the side and all of the connections on the back. These you have 2 USBs, 2 HDMIs, one of those is an HDMI ARC, and also there's an optical, a LAN port, and then the power input. On top there's a button. Well, it's not really a button, it's more of a sensor to turn the device on, but obviously you can do that from the remote control. There is a tripod mount as well, but it does weigh 6 kilos, so bear that in mind. The remote control has YouTube, Prime Video and Netflix shortcuts, and yes, this is an officially licensed Netflix projector, so you don't have to do any of the workarounds. Now, as soon as you turn this thing on, if you're in daylight, you'll notice that it is just incredibly bright. And without a doubt, it has to be one of the brightest that we've tested. So if you have got a room which does have quite a lot of ambient light, or you want to use this during the day, then this could well be the projector for you. Now, to give you another demonstration from a different angle, as you can see, I've got the blind open and this is the brightness of the screen. It really is quite incredible. And as I lower the screen, you'll see that the picture does get better and better. But because this projector is so bright initially, the difference between open and shut actually doesn't feel as big. This is the interface which you get when you turn the projector on, so it has got its own operating system and it's very clear and very functional to use. I'm not a great fan of a lot of the projector's interfaces, but this one is super simple to operate and the navigation is really quick. If you go into the picture modes, then you'll notice a few different settings. The standard mode is pretty good, and custom means you can change all the things you want. You've also got cinema, and also you have sport and vivid. Now, I found that custom mode was probably the best because you probably will want to make a few tweaks. There are different audio settings as well, and this does support Dolby Audio, but the standard options are standard, sport, movie, and music. I found movie to be the best. You can have this as a front projection, rear projection, ceiling mounted, and you've got various different options there. And with the keystone correction, you can have this auto keystone, so it will straighten the image automatically. You can have fit to screen, so it will detect the screen and snap into place. And you've also got the advanced option where it will correct if the projector is moved, and it will also avoid obstacles, which again is a nice touch for this type of projector. The zoom option helps you get the perfect size for your location, and you can go from something like 80% up to 100%. So that again is another good option. And with the manual keystone, you can position the projector to hit all 4 corners of the screen that you're projecting onto. There is automatic focus and there's also manual focus, so hopefully you'll get the picture that you want. I did find that the focus was pretty sharp in all 4 corners and it looked really good. Very simple to operate, and again, that is the theme with this projector. Everything that you do with it is really very simple. There is a built-in app store, but I don't necessarily recommend it. It didn't have things like Disney, but you have got Netflix, Prime and YouTube. But I would recommend using something like a Fire Stick or an Apple TV, like I always do on all of the projector videos that I recommend. Okay, so the picture quality is, I think, pretty smart straight out of the box, but I did find that I had to dial down the hue a little bit, and in some scenes I adjusted the contrast. It just seemed a little bit contrast heavy. But once you've done that, you've got a really good image, and it doesn't really matter what you're playing through this. Remember, this is just 1080p. The colours seem natural and well balanced, and the picture quality in terms of sharpness and contrast is then how you want it, but you will definitely need to make some tweaks, in my opinion. Now, as a reminder, if you are seeing any flicker at all on this image, that's just my camera frequency and you do not see that in reality. Right, how about sharpness? Well, the sharpness I thought was really good. Considering this is 1080p, if I zoom in onto this freeze frame, you can see that it does look really, really sharp. And I think that this is one of the better 1080p projectors that we've seen recently, certainly in terms of brightness, sharpness and contrast. For gamers out there, well, again, if you're into gaming on a big screen like I am, then you're going to really enjoy this. I did find that it was a little bit contrast heavy, so I did have to dial that back a little bit, and you might want to adjust the hue slightly because it is a little bit oversaturated. Now, the other thing to mention, because this has a laser light source, it is super quiet in its operation. It's as low as around 24 decibels, so it's barely noticeable even in the quietest of scenes. Speaking of audio, this has two 10-watt speakers which deliver quite a punchy bass, and it sounds pretty good. It isn't the best that I've heard, but it's certainly okay. I definitely recommend taking advantage of that second HDMI port with the ARC facility and hooking this up to a soundbar or a separate surround sound system. So let's go over those main specs again. It's 2100 ISO lumens and it's a 1080p native resolution via a laser light source. The official Netflix licensing is a nice touch, and it just means you don't have to faff about with anything else, although I would have preferred it to have had a better operating system, things like Disney and other features that you want to install. Auto keystone and autofocus obstacle avoidance are all really good smart features which you probably would expect in a projector of this price point, but again they work really well and consistently. I've mentioned the speakers and the silent operation. Having those two HDMI ports is definitely an advantage, but you've also got optical audio, a LAN port and also two USB ports. So overall, my friends, I think that this is a really good option if you're in this price point for a projector and you're wanting something that not only delivers a great picture but has got that smart technology built in, then this could be for you. But I think the person that is really going to buy this is going to be a person that wants to take advantage of that extra brightness, because there are just so few projectors that can handle this type of bright room and deliver that type of image. Let me know what your thoughts are, guys. Leave a comment and I will do my best to answer any questions you have. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you on the next.